The Manchester derby is nearly upon us. Huge fixture and an awful lot of jeopardy. Far more than there has been for a long time with regard to these fixtures. Because if Manchester United win, I believe that they are in a title race. To help me explore this issue, the wonderful Adeola Depot. Addy, am I being... I feel like I might be being conditioned by Adam McCullough. Are they?
You know what I like what you just did? You called it an issue, and it is an issue. Because as a Liverpool fan and as a Chelsea fan, the last thing we want to see is Man United win any more titles. They ruined my childhood because it felt like they was winning every single year, and they kind of were, really. I think if I'm a United fan, you mentioned McCullough there, we obviously speak to the likes of Flex as well. If I'm a United fan, I want to say we're in a title race if we beat Man City.
There's 1 point. If they beat Manchester City, if Manchester United come out of the Manchester derby victorious, they're 1 point behind City. How can they possibly not be in a title race?
Because I don't think people think they've got the legs to sustain it. I don't think people think they've got the squad depth to sustain it. You, in a couple of videos ago, we did pointed out the fact that they don't have the bodies up front to sustain it in terms of goals. And I actually tried to defend them, saying, but Bruno will get 6 or 7 and Casemiro might chip in. They haven't got the goal scorers. They don't score enough goals. You look at the league table, and I think Arsenal scored like 40 and Man City with their 45. Man United are in their 20s. They just don't score enough goals, and you wonder if that will hurt them in the long run. Look, they could beat Man City. Their record against Man City is always actually pretty decent. Sometimes they get thumped, sometimes they win. But even if they do beat City, I don't think, and I could be wrong because so far under Erik Ten Hag, especially in the last few months, they've done really well. I just don't think they have enough bodies to sustain a run where we know what City do. You've got to maybe get 90 plus points. And I still think City would nearly get... I don't think they'll get 95, 100, but I think they'll get close to it. Can this Man United team get 90 points? I don't think so.
See, I am inclined to think that you won't have to get 90 this year. I think that it will be a slightly more surmountable tally. Yeah. I think that you will be able to hit it. With regard to Manchester United...
Why do you think that? Do you think City are off a bit? Because I'm looking at the table here. City have only lost twice this season. They've won 12. They're not that far away from that kind of form. They're not that far away from it.
But on 5 occasions out of 17 games, they haven't taken maximum points.
Okay, fair.
On 5 out of 7, they haven't taken maximum, which is quite a significant percentage, particularly for a club like Man City.
Yeah.
And also, when I think about Manchester United, when I think about what Erik Ten Hag has done at that club, I think that he's got every single thing correct. All of the big issues that he's had to face at that club, whether it's Marcus Rashford, when he dropped him, I thought that was a big moment.
Smart.
And it inspired Rashford. Rashford comes on and scores 2 goals. One of them counted, then it was the winner. The
Ronaldo situation.
The way that he handled Ronaldo, I thought he handled it with aplomb. Manchester United are a huge conglomerate of a football team. So to handle it, to go in there from Ajax and manage the entire club, the situation, the disparity between the board and the fans, the issues within the squad. He's got every single thing correct. So, in its kind of continuity, keeps doing things well, keeps doing things the right way, keeps making correct decisions, keeps accruing points.
Yeah.
They're on an awful lot. They're on an excellent run. They're securing points on a regular basis. They're looking like a team. There's cohesion and belief. There's a clear way that they're playing. I think they're doing things really well. I don't necessarily think they're going to win the league, by the way. Not by any
But you're
stretch.
saying they could be in the race.
I don't see how you discount them from a title race. Do you concede that the team that are being chased are Man City? Do you think Man City are the favourites?
Yeah.
So if Man City are the team that you're chasing, and it's not Arsenal, because Arsenal are obviously a few more points ahead. So if it's the Man City total, if you are 1 point behind on the halfway point, I don't really see how you're not.
You know what it is? Maybe I'm just scarred by Man City over the last 5 seasons, where I know, and I've seen it, where they go on a run that for me doesn't make any sense. They can go on a run of 15 wins. Not 15 games unbeaten, which before was incredible.
Yeah.
15 wins. I've been supporting this Liverpool side for years, and Liverpool have never done 14 wins in a row. We could do that, and it's still not enough because this team will kick into gear. And I just think eventually, I think we saw it recently with you boys when they played you, and they played, quote unquote, their B team against Chelsea. The depth in that squad, they're bringing off Mahrez off the bench, who's top goal scorer last season. They're bringing on Jack Grealish, £100 million player. They've got the depth and the strength. This Man United team don't have it. I mean, they're trying to go for Wout Weghorst. And look, it could be good for them, it might not be good for them, but that's the kind of depth they're going to bring off the bench. Man City are bringing off well.
No, but say they sign Weghorst. Okay, so we've agreed that the issue for Manchester United is scoring goals, and I think you're completely correct on that, right? I think Manchester United, bearing in mind where they sit in the league, they've only scored 2 more goals this season than Leeds United.
Oh my God, that's true. I've got the table in front of me. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm slightly offended that you didn't just take my
Sorry,
word for it.
Apologies.
You don't need to fact check me.
No, well, sometimes you might have to, Rory. You know what I mean? I know you're very good, but
really passive aggressive. I'm sitting right here.
No, Rory. I mean, come on. I mean, sometimes your stats can go left.
Mate, you're looking in my eyes,
I'm
and
sorry,
then you literally
Rory.
went like that.
You
literally moved away.
You know why? You know why I did that? Because Leeds United are 14th, Man United are 3rd or 4th. That's incredible. The stat you just read out is incredible. So I had to doubt, it can't be right here.
Yeah. 2 goals in it. Yeah. So say Weghorst comes in, and I know that from previous conversations, you and I disagree slightly on the signing of Weghorst. I think it's quite a good signing, and I think he can do the job for them. And ultimately, all he has to do is help Manchester United secure an additional 6-7 points, and that could be the difference between finishing above Liverpool or potentially more. Launching a title challenge.
No. This. I'm happy you said that. That's the difference for me for them to get into top 4 and to stay in top 4. They're 4th now. That's not the difference. That kind of player, as good as he might be for that system, that's not the difference between a title race or a title challenge. It's the difference between, you're right, maybe staying above Liverpool and maybe giving players a rest, but it's not the difference between launching an attack at the league.
But signing Wout Weghorst, right? If he comes in and it goes well, say he lands a little bit Henrik Larsson, a little bit Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Just say it goes. I'm not comparing him to either of those 2 players because he's not as good as either of them. But just say his contribution can be as significant. Just say that it happens to manifest itself that he links up very well with Marcus Rashford, and Marcus Rashford, in my opinion, in the form of his life. If Wout Weghorst can encourage that, be a bit of a foil to Marcus Rashford. Maybe allow Anthony to discover the form that he was supposed to display already. Maybe Bruno Fernandes plays well because he's got a foil in a player like Wout Weghorst. And maybe Wout Weghorst can do the thing that Loic Remy did for Chelsea. When Chelsea won the league in 2015, Diego Costa was unplayable, but Remy stepped in when it most mattered. Turns a draw into a victory or a loss into a draw. I just think that if they beat Man City, not only does it mean that they are a point in it, but the statement of beating City.
What have you seen from this Man United side in the last month or few weeks since we got back from the World Cup to suggest that you think they can beat Man City? What is it? Is it beating Bournemouth?
No, it's
beating
twofold.
Forest?
Twofold.
Is it beating Everton? Like what? No, I don't want to dig. Man United fans will say when you can beat who we can beat, but who have they beaten that we have all of a sudden gone a bit? Like this Man City side thumped Chelsea.
There is an answer to this question, Noad. They're the only team already this season that have beaten Arsenal. So they can do it. Yeah. They can turn it on when it most matters. Yeah. And then
beat Liverpool as well.
There is another.
Beat Liverpool as well. Old Trafford.
Beat Liverpool as well. But there is one other thing.
What?
It feels very disingenuous for me to say this off the back of Man City beating Chelsea twice in the last 4 days. But how good are City? Seriously. How good? Are City that good? When you were saying it's going to be 90 points to win the league, or in excess of 90 points, that's part of the reason I don't think it is.
The other thing with City, and obviously Guardiola's tried to address this by bringing in bodies. Everyone says Liverpool are knackered. The team that Liverpool have gone up against for the last 5 years also must be a bit knackered. And sometimes I look at these City players, and don't get me wrong, again, he's addressed it by bringing in bodies like Haaland and Grealish, but I look at the core of the team that have won everything in those last 5 years, and look at Kyle Walker, whose legs are starting to break down a little bit. They've given it everything as well. Yeah. Bernardo Silva's fell off a little bit this season, hasn't he? Has De Bruyne been as brilliant as we know he can be, the best player in arguably the world when he's on song? Maybe not. I think that they've started to show a little bit as well.
One-dimensional Haaland.
Yeah.
One-dimensional. So look, I'm not this. Look.
No.
Look, they battered Chelsea. They're 3-0 up at half time. Won the game 4-0. Chelsea were abysmal. This isn't me making any excuses. They battered us. They're far better than we are. Chelsea aren't even relevant to this conversation. But they were sloppy, man. City weren't City.
You know what my
they weren't clinical City.
You know what my problem is with doing this video? I'm so pro Liverpool. It's difficult for me to almost take my rose-tinted glasses off to tell you that this Man United can sustain a challenge for the league.
Do you think they can
I'm
really?
impressed.
Then?
I feel like they're a big name body up front away from doing it, but I'm so impressed with Erik Ten Hag. I think Casemiro is fantastic. I think Malacia is really good. I think Rashford's playing football now like the Rashford we all expected off the back of the good World Cup. I like Eriksen. Everyone was a bit anti that signing. It's working. And then off the bench, you got Fred and McTominay that can give you some good minutes. So look, hands up, I think they're a very, very good side of a very good manager. I just know the other team we're talking about are not just a very good side, an excellent side with arguably a manager that's top 5 greatest managers to ever live. And that's the difference. And he's still in his pom. He's still got the same hunger. It doesn't look like he's even letting off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought it would die. I thought, he can't keep this up. He can. So that's it. If it was Man United chasing Arsenal, okay. If you're talking about Man United potentially still chasing City, trust me, brother. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've done this chase for 4 years.
Experience for
I'm telling you now, it's a painful end because these boys do not give up. They don't slow down. They have gears that we don't even know exist. They've got tools in the tool bag you've not seen before, and they're a problem.
All of that I agree with.
Yeah.
All of that I do agree with. But look, there is. Just imagine this world.
Oh,
we get to the end of the week, and Tottenham have beaten Arsenal, and Manchester United have beaten City. It's not that. Look, it's unlikely.
It's not wild.
It's not wild.
It's not wild. Then we have a race.
Then it's on.
Then I'm not joking. Then it's on, and then maybe even towards the end of the window, ambitions change. Maybe it isn't a Vegas. Maybe it's like 1 second, knock on the board to the Glazers. We're in this.
Yeah.
Give me something now because we're in this. We can go.
There we go.
Because they've got the defence.
They've
you can argue.
They've certainly got the defence.
They've
From
got the
what we've seen
midfield.
so far, they've got the manager.
They've got the manager. They've got the midfield. They're just bodies short. Right now, the only person you trust up front is Rashford. You don't trust Martial. And who else have they got? Who else have they got?
Well, there isn't.
Well, that's the issue.
Then they're relying on players like Elanga and people like
what's
that.
What's that? Garnacho?
Yeah, Garnacho.
Yeah.
He looks very good, but he's 19.
Yeah,
I know Manchester United of all clubs don't discourage youth, but
Yeah, you look at what City have got going forward.
Yeah,
look at Mahrez, Haaland.
Yeah,
Foden,
you look at what they got on the bench.
Alvarez. Look at that four. Look at that four that I just mentioned. Are you kidding me?
Think about Alvarez as well.
Kidding me?
I know.
They've got so much up front. They said you can take Sterling. Have Jesus. We don't need him. That's all they've got up front.
Could be their worst ever.
Could be their worst ever move.
Addy, as always, this has been really exciting. I think we're concluding here that if it goes well for them, they are in a title race.
Yes, sir.
We are. If the Manchester Derby goes well for United, they're in a title race.
And Man United fans need to kind of get behind it and say it. I feel like they're
they
Arsenal.
Are.
They
are.
saying it already?
Yeah, God, yeah.
Oh, God.
21 is coming.
Oh, it started
Oh,
already.
God, yeah.
Okay, let's hope it doesn't happen then.
Thank you, Addy. Really appreciate that. Do me one favour before you go. Please subscribe to my dear friend Addy's YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. If you don't, he will stop doing these videos with me.
Fact.
So please consider subscribing to him. As always, we're really interested to hear your thoughts as well. So please comment below. Let us know. Do you think Manchester United are in a title race? And can they beat Man City this weekend? See you in a bit.